This is Amardeep Singh, your computer teacher, and today we are going to continue with the same chapter, Cascading Style Sheets. In this session, we'll discuss about font properties available in CSS. We'll discuss font family, font style, font weight, font size, font variant, and shorthand property to use all these properties in a single line, that is font property. So first we'll discuss about the font family. It specifies the preferred choice of the font name of a particular element. It contains a list of font family names followed by generic font family. If the browser doesn't support first font, it tries the next font family name, all separated by comma. So that means this property is used to decide the name of font that we want to apply on a particular uh, paragraph or any other text inside the web page. So we are having two types of font family. One is normal font family, that is Times, Courier, then Arial, etc. And then next we are having generic family name, font family names. These are serif, sans serif, cursive, fantasy, monospace, etc. We can use a font family property by specifying the name of font followed by for the name of font, that is the family name, and you can also specify the generic family name separated by comma here. So let's start with an example how to use font family property of CSS. So here we are having two paragraphs, one main heading, two subheadings, and without any specified CSS type for these. And this one is the output, normal output of the page. So we have to define. I'm going to define a CSS property, font property for a paragraph tag, font family colon. I'll use some name of some normal font, Arial, then save it. This property will be applied on all the p tag, occurrence of all the p tag in this current document. If you will refresh this page, now you can see the font has been changed. So I'll use another one, Georgia. Then now you can see the font has been changed according to the specified value. So if you people are using some typical name of font which is not supported by your browser, then you can also specify the generic font name. Generic font means like sans serif, serif, these type of generic font which is available on all the browsers, right? So you can also, but the Georgia font is supported by my browser. So if you want to specify another font name, generic font name, then you can specify here as comma serif, then refresh. But that secondary font, that generic font is not having any effect on my browser because my browser is supporting Georgia font. So that is all about how we can specify, how we can use a font family property in CSS. Next, we are having font style property. This property displays text in one of three styles: normal, italic, or oblique. This property is having three values: normal, italic, or oblique, and we can use this property like a font style, then the value of one of these values that we can use. For example, font style colon italic. So we can apply the same property on this one. I'll define a property for h2 tag, then font hyphen style colon save it. Now here we are having h2 tag, and even here when you will save the tag, then now you can see this one is in this style, and now the style of h2 tag has been changed to italic. So in this way you can also assign normal also, or any other specified value. These property values are having a different style effect on depending on each browser. So that's all about font style property. Next property we are having, that is font weight. This The font weight property provides the functionality to specify how bold a font is. These are the possible values, that is normal, bold, bolder, lighter, and you can also specify these numeric values 100, 200, 300. It will specify how the font will be bold, how much bold effect will be applied on that font weight column, the value of property. So let's start with an example how to use font weight property. I'll use the font hyphen weight column bolder or bold, or any number that you can specify from the given values. Now you can see the font has been converted to the bold face. You can also specify any another value from the list. Lighter, save it, and you can see the effect. Many of the values of properties are depending on the browsers also. That is, depending on the browser, how a browser interprets that property according to the situation. Next we are having font size property. The font size property is used to control the size of font. Possible values could be x small, small, medium, large, x large, x large, smaller, or anything. Or you can also specify the size in pixels also, pixel or percentage. That means font size equal to the value from the list given above this example. So let's start with how to use this property. Uh, I'll change the size of font of p tag, font hyphen size colon. I'll specify size in pixels. Let's suppose I'll specify 20. Now you can see that the size has been changed. You can also specify 50. So in this way you can increase the size by specifying any valid value, or a valid numeric value, or from the predefined value. That means these are the predefined values like x small, small, large. I'll use large. You can also specify large, and this one. So these are the valid values for font size properties, and this is the way that you can use the font property. If you want to apply these properties, any of the font property on some specific p tag, like we are having two paragraphs, if I want to apply only the property only to this first p tag, then you can use class or id selector also. Let's suppose uh, I'm using dot abc. This one is a class selector. So class equals to abc. Now that this one property will be applied only on first paragraph only. Now you can see this paragraph, text of this paragraph is available in normal text, and this paragraph is according to the specified property. So that is how to use font size property. Next we are having font variant property. It is related to character casing and set the text font in two variants, normal or small caps. In case of normal, the font will be displayed in normal case, But if you specify small caps, then in all the lowercase characters are converted to uppercase. So that means we are having only two valid values. One is normal and second one is small caps. So let's start how to use these properties. So if I'll define the property for h2 tag font hyphen variant column. First I will specify normal, and this one is the output of normal font. If I'll specify small caps, then now you can see that the character case has been changed. All characters are displayed here in capital letters. So that is uh, the use of this property. In case of normal value, then all the characters will be displayed in normal face, in normal font, and in case of small caps, the lowercase characters will be converted to uppercase. Next, we are having font property, that is the shorthand use of all properties in a single line. So font property is used as a shorthand method to set all the font properties in a single line. So the syntax of using font property is font, then font style, then font variant, font weight, font size, font family. You have to specify all these font property values in the same order which is specified in this syntax. So here we are having an example. We have specified font italic, then small caps, after space small cap, then space bold, then space 12px. So these are the values. So the main thing is that you have to specify all the values in this order. You have to specify these all property in the same order if you want to specify multiple properties in a single line. So let's start how to use this property. I'll specify property for p, then font, colon. So these properties. I've specified font italic first, then small caps, then bold, then this one is the size, then this one is the name of font family. So save it and refresh. Now you can see that all the properties has been applied on the font using a single line. You can also increase the size of the font, like I'll specify 30px, then so that is the way in which you can use multiple properties in a single line. So that is all about all the font properties that we can apply on the text of a web page. If you people are having any kind of doubt related to